Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. My name is Plami or Paige, whichever you prefer to call me, and in this video I'm gonna be reacting to Highlight-Narsia, B.A.P-Rewind, IKON-Love scenario, and Block B BASTARZ-Zero for Conduct. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it, starting off with Highlight-Narsia in 3, 2, 1. I think one of you commented to me that this is a game OST. I don't know if this is the song that you were talking about. Okay, I kind of like it. Definitely feels kind of epic. I gotta say, I don't think I like Highlight as much as Beast. I feel like Highlight goes more for ballads. It goes more closer to ballads, while Beast was more traditional K-pop like.
Feel like I'm in the heaven 안아줘 네 아픔을 너의 품 안에 숨어 잠들고만 싶은 너는 세상 모든 것들이 멈춰버린 듯해 지금 난 마치 꿈을 꾸고 있는 듯해 때론 아플지도 몰라 그 아픔마저 좋아 대가가 없는 행복 같은 건 없을지 몰라 지금 이 순간마저 결국 지나갈 거라면 내 모든 걸 간에 담아 흘려보낼게 넌 나의 너시야
Okay, I'm getting kind of a weird feeling from this one. I think the fact that it's a game or a drama OST song kind of both helps the song and kind of makes it worse. Because I feel like the fact that it's an OST kind of gives it a certain epic feeling to it, and definitely makes it a bit more interesting. But it also makes it not feel like a Highlight or a Beast song. It kind of feels like a song that they were just given to sing. I don't know. It's also kind of not as interesting as I expected it to be or wanted it to be. Like, it's not bad, don't get me wrong, like, I enjoyed it. I'd say it's decently catchy, but like, I expected it to be a bit more epic. I guess I kind of expected it to be more like BTS's ON. Okay, so how I feel about this one? I honestly genuinely don't remember how even Black Paradise, which is the song one of you told me that this one sounded very much like. I genuinely don't even remember how that one sounded, even though apparently I have reacted to it very recently. But yeah, when I don't really love anything, something, I don't really pay attention to it, and especially considering that I have reacted to essentially 800 songs, I think it's around that number. Ever since I started my YouTube channel, I cannot remember all of them, especially when it's a B-side, so I'm sorry that I don't remember whether it sounds like it or not, but I kind of liked it, this one, I guess. Like, it's nowhere near bad, but I just kind of expected a bit of a more epic kind of song, like I guess something similar to BTS's ON. because that one at first didn't feel really epic and medieval, but after watching the music video for it, even though I hated it at first, it kind of changed the whole vibe of the song, and now I really like it. And the second I saw the picture in this video, I kind of expected this one to kind of end up in that same vibe, but it really didn't. It felt a bit more on the boring side of things, this one, so I might give it a bit of a lower score because of that. It just didn't really intrigue me that much. It wasn't bad, the chorus was kind of catchy, and I like the name Narsia. It kind of reminds me of Narnia, but like I expected a bit more uniqueness to it, and it felt very Highlight, I guess, very much in line with their style of music, or at least the more slower songs, and I kind of expected something a bit more different, I guess. So yeah, personally I'm gonna give this one a 7.8 out of 10, which is still not a bad score. While objectively I'm going to give it an 8.4 out of 10, because it's still a pretty enjoyable song and I can see most people enjoying it. It's just not what I wanted to hear, and it's not really the exact kind of song that I enjoy the most, which is a faster, more energetic, happier kind of song. Yeah, it wasn't bad, it's just not exactly what I wanted. So yeah, let's move on to the next song of this video, that being B.A.P's Rewind. And judging by the pictures used in this, it's probably from the same album or whatever Honeymoon was released in, so I'm kind of excited to hear this one, so let's get into it in 3, 2, 1. Okay, it's slower than I expected, but maybe it's gonna speed up. Okay, this is a very jazzy song. Oh, I love the bass in the background. Yeah, this is a very jazzy song, but I feel like they're still bringing some B.A.P flavor to it. So it's definitely more interesting than it would have been otherwise, or if it was just any other group. B.A.P are crazy good vocalists. That's the thing with slow songs though, the rapping doesn't really work, for me at least, most of the time. It's very rare for me to really like slower rapping. Like with Jungkook, I'm not really the biggest fan of his rapping, so that one doesn't really matter, but even Zero's rapping couldn't make me like it. So maybe this should have been just a sub-unit song with only the vocalists, because they're really showing off their skills. But yeah, this one is just not my thing at all, if for nothing else because it's a kind of a jazz retro song. The most recent other jazzy kind of song that I've listened to, I think it was from Dreamcatcher's album. It was called literally Jazz Bar, and I didn't really like it, if I remember correctly. You can check out that reaction on my channel. Honestly, I'm kind of considering going back and reacting to Daehyun's solo song. Again, because I honestly didn't really like it when I listened to it back then, but since then I've kind of grown to really like him as a vocalist. So maybe I should give it a second chance. Okay, so this wasn't a bad song, even less so than the last one, and I'd say it was even a bit more interesting, for me at least, because it didn't sound even like a kind of a generic K-pop song. But I also don't really like the retro sound of it. Like, if you like it, that's perfectly fine, but it's really not my thing, and combine that with the fact that it was a kind of a slow song, so the rapping didn't really work for me. Only the singing kind of saved the song, and some of the ways they sung the song was kind of interesting, but overall it's really kind of a song that I don't care about from them, which is fine. Not every song I have to like, and doesn't have to be exactly what I want, but yeah, that's just how I feel about this one. Still, I'm gonna give it a higher score than you probably thought I would, because I recognize it's a really good song. So I'm going to give it an 8.4 out of 10 personally, while objectively it's going to be not that much higher actually, at an 8.6 out of 10, because it just doesn't feel like a really song that everybody would enjoy. It feels like a song catering to a very specific tastes, which is fine. It's just not a really popular kind of song. Yeah, if you enjoyed that, completely fine. So let's move on to the next song of this video, that being IKON's Love Scenario. And before we get into it, I have a few things to say about it. I know it's a really popular song, I know it's the most popular song by IKON. I remember when it kind of blew up and it was everywhere, but I never really actually listened to it, so this is gonna be my first time listening to it. I'm pretty sure, but hey, I don't remember everything. I think I can tell why it's a good song, because I have heard little bits from it. But yeah, we'll see whether I'm gonna end up being a huge fan of it or not. So let's get into it in 3, 2, 1.
사랑을 했다 우리가 만나 지우지 못할 추억이 됐다.
This one feels more similar to their most recent release, I gotta say, than anything else I've heard from them. Like, it's very similar to Dive, I think it was their most recently released song. Give me a second to check. Yep, it's Dive. It's kind of similar. And I know that this got really popular, in Korea especially. I feel like this song is exactly the kind of song I would love a lot if it was in English. Or at least, should I say, if I could understand it. Because usually I'm a huge sucker for these kind of emotional love songs, I guess you could call it. But for K-pop, I'm not really into that kind of music because I don't really understand the lyrics. So in K-pop, I just listen to the kind of music that just sounds good. I don't really care about the lyrics that much. But yeah, I definitely see the appeal. This this is not a song that I personally would give a 10 out of 10, but on quality alone, it's definitely, on an objective quality, it's definitely a 10 out of 10. Because even I can tell it's a really good song. And the hook is definitely really memorable and addictive. Like, even though I hadn't listened to this song before, I already knew the hook. That's how good and popular this song was. And yeah, I see why everybody, and I mean everybody, loved this song. Even kids. Okay, so obviously, because it's such an iconic song, I didn't even realize I was making that joke, but sure. I'm gonna react to it one more time, so let's get into it in 3, 2, 1.
사랑을 했다 우리가 만나 지우지 못할 추억이 됐다 볼만한 멜로드라마 괜찮은 결말 그거면 됐다 널 사랑했다 우리가 만든 love scenario 이젠 조명이 꺼지고 마지막 페이지를 넘기면 조용히 괜찮지만은 않아 이별을 마주한다는 건 오늘이었던 우리의 어제 또는 내일이 없다는 건 아프긴 해도 더 끝없음 상처가 더 나니까.
Yeah, as I said, this one is very similar to Dive, but I feel like I enjoy Dive more because Dive is a bit more energetic and hard-hitting, which is more my kind of thing. Well, this one is more slower and melodramatic, which is also something I like, but not specifically in K-pop. So yeah, I'll definitely be actually listening to this one, but it's not my favorite song. And in songs like this, honestly, I think some of my favorite rapping is in this kind of middle of the road, speed-wise kind of songs, like in which the kind of songs which are not super fast but also not super slow. Those kind of songs have some of the best rapping. Like this rapping in this one kind of reminds me of BTS's Own and why I like the rapping in that one. Also, the dancing is kind of cool. Honestly, this is one of the most well-rounded songs I've ever heard. Everything about it is really good. Okay, so yeah, not much to say about this song other than what I said already, and as I've said, it's harder for me to criticize perfect songs. Like, there isn't anything about this one that I can say it's bad or uninteresting. That doesn't really come to my personal tastes, because if you've been with my channel for a while, you probably know already that I just love the harder hitting and more experimental and different and unique kind of K-pop songs. Mainly, as I said, because I just love more the way they sound. I don't really care about the lyrics. While this one is, I feel, very reliant on the lyrics, which is why it was so popular in Korea. And probably it was in general with K-pop fans, but it's just I'm putting the focus on Korea. So yeah, if I have to be 100% honest, for my personal score, I would probably give this one an 8.8 out of 10. Because even though it's not the exact thing that I love, even from them, it is a really good song. I recognize that, and I still like it. I'll probably be listening to it even on my own, but I think I'm gonna give it even a personal score of 10 out of 10 because it's such a perfect song. Like, it feels perfect. Nothing about it is bad. The instrumental is perfect. It's not really overbearing, honestly. Maybe I feel like it could have been more in the song, but I don't feel really it's that kind of song that demands a really overbearing instrumental. So the instrumental is fine, the singing is fine, and the rapping is surprisingly enjoyable for me. So yeah, overall it's a really good song. Like, I don't know what else to say about it. So yeah, personally 10 out of 10, and objectively also it's gonna be a 10 out of 10. If for nothing else, because it blew up so much, it deserves that. So yeah, I see the appeal of this song, not the kind of thing I love the most. Okay, so let's move on to the next song of this video, that being Block B BASTARZ-Zero for Conduct. And I assume BASTARZ is a subunit of Block B, because otherwise it wouldn't make sense, but I don't know what kind of subunit it is, so I guess we're gonna find out now. So let's just get into it in 3, 2, 1. Okay, I already like the instrumental. The beat in the beginning really reminded me of a song from a new group that I reacted to a while ago. I don't remember the name of that group, but I'm gonna put it on the screen. I think this might end up being one of my favorite block-based songs. I think this might be their most hard-hitting one. Oh, I love Crazy Block B. Yeah, I think this might be my favorite. Sorry, very good, but you've been replaced. Like, I'm sorry to anybody who likes the other music from them. I don't even hate it, but this is so much better. And so much more interesting, to me at least.
like a loser. Don't be acting like a ding-dong. 지금은 군대, let's not 보군자. Lose that we love you. 품 행세로. 품 행세로. Everybody say it. 멀쩡한 날이 없이 왔다리가 다리나 사가지 바가지가 갈라리 갈라리야 오늘부로 품 행세 왔다리가 다리나 사가지 바가지가 갈라리 갈라리야.
Okay. So yeah, this is definitely the most hard-hitting Block B song for a while that I've listened to. Maybe even the most hard-hitting one. But I do have one big criticism for it, which has been also criticism for a kind of a group, recently debuted group called MCND. And the criticism I have for both them and this song is that they don't really have a melody going into the song that connects it all together. Because right now, this song kind of feels like 3 or 4 beats put together, and there's no really any connective tissue between them. Which it still works, like I still enjoyed it. It's a really hard-hitting song, but I think it just would have made the song more finished, make it feel more finished if there was this connective tissue between the parts. Because the chorus and the beat during the chorus, which is the most hard-hitting part, is really catchy and I really like it. But there are some parts of the song where the beat completely changes to a completely different thing. It just doesn't fit. Like there's no connective tissue between the two. It feels like just another song, kind of. Like hopefully you get what I mean. Which is the biggest criticism I have for this, but I still like it for what it is. So yeah, personally I'm gonna give this one a 9 out of 10. Like I just love the music video, if nothing else. It's really good. And I love the hard-hitting beat and the chorus with the dancing and everything I really like it. Objectively, I'm going to give it actually a 9.5 out of 10 because I feel like if you're a big fan of Block B, you're gonna really enjoy this. I mean, if you're not really the biggest fan, excluding if you maybe prefer the more ballad kind of music that they have released most recently. But yeah, this is just more my kind of thing, so automatically this is just better for me. Even if the song is not necessarily better or more polished. But yeah, I really like this, and if there are other songs from BASTARZ, I definitely want to check them out, especially if they are as hard-hitting as this one. So yeah, comment them down below. And in general, if you have any K-pop songs you want me to react to, make sure to comment them down below, and I'm gonna add them to my list, though I don't promise when I'm gonna get your specific request, because I have a lot of songs being requested to me, and I try to make a variety of to put a variety of different artists in one video, excluding whenever there's a comeback. But yeah, I just don't want to promise when I'm gonna get to a specific request or requests. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe. Also check out the description to my Twitter if you want to follow me there, to my Wattpad where I post my stories, cause in addition to doing all these videos on my channel, I'm also a writer. And if you do end up enjoying my stories or simply enjoy my videos, you can head over to Patreon or Subscribestar where you can pledge support and help keep the channel going. Help support me so I can keep writing the stories you enjoy. And in general, I just want to mention that the money you decide to support me with, a huge part are going to go towards my transition fund. Because if you're new to the channel or you just haven't noticed it, I'm to transition for a while, but I don't really have the funds to do it. I have a friend who is helping me out quite a lot, called Joeri. He's a really big friend of mine, so I want to give him a shout out. But I would appreciate if you could do that too, but I don't want to pressure you or guilt trip you into helping me out. So if you don't want to do it, that's completely fine. You can still help me out by liking this video, subscribing, and especially sharing this video with somebody who you think might enjoy it. And I think that's pretty much it for this video, so hopefully I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye!